us in this country, we always talk about African Americans, people of color. I want to talk to you about white people, okay?
White people?
I know. So many people would be surprised to find out that we are sitting in one of the most racially polarized metropolitan areas in the country. By the middle of the century, the nation is going to be majority non-white. Our public schools are already there. If working class white Americans are about to be outnumbered, are already underemployed in many cases, and one study found they are dying sooner, don't they have a reason to be resentful, Senator?
Now that is footage from 2016 presidential race. And that was Senator Bernie Sanders and Secretary Hillary Clinton at that time. And the wonderful, great journalist Gwen Ifill really turned the tides with that question when she said, we talk about black people, we talk about people of color, I want to talk about white people. And what she meant in that was the white working class. And the question was meant to laser focus in on why is it that the Democrats continue to lose the white working class voter. I thought her question was absolutely brilliant. I mean, it stunned not only Senator Bernie Sanders and Secretary Clinton, but I think everybody that was watching that debate was totally stunned by the way she phrased and formed that question. But I saw that question in the eyes of the people that I had a chance to meet in East Palestine.
I mean, Gwen Ifill is missed big time. She was an incredible journalist. But it's an important point that she pointed out, because these towns are comprised of working class people that are struggling in the same ways, but unfortunately they get hypnotized, and especially the white working class in towns like this often gets hypnotized by Donald Trump and people of his ilk, people that are going there in malintentions. You know that Trump's gonna go there and with his stupid hubris and say, what they're doing, this administration is terrible. They're responsible for all of this. And you know they're not, because his administration cut back rail safety regulations. His administration is the one that pulled back the need for the right kind of brakes to be able to stop in the case of a train about to go derailed. He was so proud of cutting every regulation possible, and this is the consequences of that. So yes, it goes across many administrations, but I would say especially the Trump administration that was just gleeful about taking safety away from people that need it, safeguards away from communities that need to be protected, and just anything to get the toxic chemicals faster to the profit centers at the corporate headquarters of any company that needs it. Let the people be damned. And that is not an America I want to live in.
Yeah, he is definitely culpable, and you're right. He's gonna go there and say this is all about this administration and never once share with the folks that even the few regulations that the Obama administration did attempt to put in, because they rolled back some too, Ben. We're gonna go ahead and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth on this. It was several administrations. It was President Obama's administration, President Trump's administration, right there wide in the open. And then President Biden's administration did not do anything to correct what President Donald J. Trump did. But you're right, he gonna go there and pretend like if he were in office, it would be fixed, when nothing can be further than the truth, because he actually made it worse. So you are correct on that. And I would say, being there with those residents, just getting a chance to see a few of them and being able to take in the environment, it is very clear that they are in fact angry. They are enraged, as John Russell laid out. They have every right to be, and are living in fear. Because imagine if this was happening to you. It could have happened to any of us. We could be at the epicenter of this. And to only be betrayed, and I use that word, directly betrayed by the state government and the federal government, because it took too long for them to respond to your pain. So the first prerequisite for any tragedy like this is for the people closer to the pain to know that somebody cares, and that they have been transgressed, and that somebody has to come in the form of government, because government has the capacity to deal with the level of pain that was being felt, that continues to be felt by the people of East Palestine. But they were missing in action. State government missing in action. Federal government missing in action. And moreover, it is clear from the conversation with John and other residents, and that the overall vibe is these people don't give a damn about us. And that is one of the reasons why an area that John described as being a Democratic, like a Reagan Democrat area, went all the way over to President Donald J. Trump, who's a faux populist. They did that because of those trade deals. They did that because they did not feel as though anybody cares for them. Now, one woman that I did get a chance to talk to, and a lot of residents did not want to be on camera, being they didn't want to be, in the limelight, but they had a lot to say. But one woman in particular said that she does not want this to happen again. And we get that, right? Nobody wants this to happen. And that she does not want any more chemical carrying vehicles coming through East Palestine, period, dot. I put the period, dot. But she was very clear about that, very firm and very angry, rightfully so, when she said it, because people should be angry right now. This is not a time to send nice little cozy notes to folks. This is a time for somebody to be mad as hell about what these people are enduring. That's what they want to know. And so the working class people of East Palestine, in my opinion, have a lot in common with the working class people of Flint, Michigan, or Cleveland, Ohio, or Jackson, Mississippi. And that is that if you are poor or among the working class, you are being left behind by state government, by federal government, because if you are not in the owner-donor class, they're not gonna jump for you. This particular administration right now is siding with Norfolk Southern right before the United States Supreme Court right now at this very moment against a rail worker that filed a case first in Pennsylvania. They're siding with Norfolk Southern right now. Not 2 years ago, not 3 years ago, right now. This is the same administration that asked the Congress to take away the right of rail workers to strike because they wanted sick days, sick leave, which they have zero. And instead of this administration and that transportation secretary saying to the rail barons, tell you what, they gonna get their sick time or else, they sided with them, and the 117th Congress sided with them too, leaving rail workers with zero sick time. One of the reasons why, we're gonna find some compounding factors. John talked about how overworked these people are. There was a rail worker that was out and about this morning too. Again, did not want to be on camera and said, I can't talk because I work for the railroad. But see, these people have been transgressing. Somebody needs to feel their pain. And so the reason why I say East Palestine, Flint, Michigan, Cleveland, Ohio, Jackson, Mississippi, because this is a class issue. Now, race is laced up all in it when we talk about Flint and Jackson, but you make no mistake about it. This is about the haves and the have-nots. And the have-nots get absolutely nothing, and government is failing. And the Democratic Party has become the party that only cares about the elites and whatever the hot topic of the moment is. And the Republican Party, they faux populist. They'll pretend like they care, but yet they won't pass legislation or be a part of passing legislation that will help to ameliorate the pain that people in East Palestine are feeling. They won't, they're gonna talk a good game. They're not gonna do anything either, but I'm focused on the Democrats right now because that's who controls the administration. And they do not care enough, because if they did, they would have been on Norfolk Southern like white on rice and black on coal. It would not have taken people to call them out, independent media sources, over and over again and tell them to do their job and stop making excuses as to why they can't help these people. They made too many excuses. And it's time out, America. And we need to stop being complicit in our own demise. And we need black and brown and everybody else, however people want to identify. We need folks to get together and say, hell no, we ain't gonna take it no more. Now that's what it's gonna take to turn the tide on this. I'm mad, Ben. I'm mad as hell. And I've been mad for several weeks about what is happening there to those people.